Hey there, my love. Mi amor. Okay, so how do we know if we're speaking from up here? If we're sharing our emotions from our mental body, which means we're intellectualizing them, or we're coming from here? I'm ready to get in it because whether it's in relationships or work, it becomes really clear when you're talking to somebody which place they're coming from. And I'll be able to also guide you so you know for yourself how you can continue to soften. If this is the first time we're meeting, my name's Erica Ann, your transformation doula, and I love guiding women, high achieving women who are just wanting to put the mask down. They're wanting to come from a place of aliveness, love life, and the way to do that is coming from a more authentic place than a place of performance. So, if you watch this and you like this content, I invite you to like, subscribe, so we can continue this conversation. So, let's get in it. Intellectualizing emotions. I'm sure that you've had a conversation with someone and they're either texting you, right? Or they're telling you about how you feel or about how they feel, right? I can understand that you're feeling XYZ, or they're trying to share how they're feeling, and it sounds beautiful. It might even sound poetic, right? They're like listing out all these things. And this could be verbally, or again, this could be in written form. And you're like, I hear you, but I don't feel you. When we are women who are used to getting things done, right? We go after things, we're taking action, we're used to the pats on the back, the stickers, like we thrive on that. We thrive on being really productive. Unless we've learned another way, we've been taught that sharing how we feel might be a weakness, or it might not be something that we've really learned how to do well. And so we tend to intellectualize how we feel. And well, the reason is because sharing how we feel from here versus here feels more vulnerable. And vulnerable means there's closeness, there's intimacy, and we're risking something. I'm risking you might judge me. I'm risking rejection. I'm risking you might walk away if I share how I feel. And I don't want to do that, so I'm going to put it in a pretty little bow. It's going to sound nice. So when we're talking about something, like if you think about a situation that was hurtful for you in the past, there's two reasons that you might be able to talk about it and not get emotional per se. You might be able to talk about it like maybe this was like past trauma, something that was really hurtful, and you can talk about it now and not get emotional. It could be because you worked through it, you processed it, and now you are in more of a neutral place when you speak about it. Or what we're talking about today is you're talking about it, but you're detached. So you're able to, and this happened to me for many years. My mom passed when I was 20 years old, and I could talk about it, no problem. I could talk about it even around the time, no problem. Because I was detached from actually feeling it. So when you're talking to somebody who's sharing with you how they're feeling and you don't feel it, you don't feel what they're saying, they're not connected to their emotions. They're not embodying what they're saying. They're just intellectualizing it. So you can say the same thing, but it's the feeling behind what that person's saying or what you're saying that makes all the difference. So when we're in relationships, work relationships, or romantic ones, and we can share from our heart, we can build a stronger connection. So one, romantically, if you can be more vulnerable with your partner, you're going to create more closeness. You're going to create more safety. You can have more passion and a more real, authentic, raw, that aliveness in that type relationship. In the workspace, right, you're going to be able to feel like you're in more alignment, right, in work situations with clients and business. They're going to feel like you're real, like what you're saying is real. So I'm not talking about when you're sharing from your heart that you need to cry. I'm not saying that. It might happen. There's nothing wrong with that. What I'm talking about is when you are expressing, hey, like when you said this thing to me, oh, I felt X, right? I felt really hurt, and it brought up some things for me that I didn't realize came up. And I actually, like, I felt hurt, like my feelings were hurt. And so you're not making it about them, you're making it about you. Because and this is a conversation for another day, when we are sharing with someone how we feel and we're making it about what they said versus how we feel, they're probably not going to be very receptive to what you're saying. But when we're sticking to how we feel, our feelings, how I felt, what I experienced when my mom passed, or when I went through a really difficult heartbreak, how that made me feel, how it tore me up. That is so different from, when my mom died when I was 7, it was a difficult situation and I really had to be the strong one. And I watched her lose a lot of her motor skills, and you can hear it sounds like I'm just describing facts. So when you hear someone, so I'm sharing it from both directions, because if you find yourself in a relationship with someone who seems like they can communicate really well, but you can't understand why you're not feeling heard, it's probably because they're not letting you in here and they're only speaking from here. And then I'm sharing this with you from a place of how you can share, because I want you to be more magnetic. I want to help you to unmask and to connect more to your vulnerable side, because vulnerability is true power. This is not what we're taught. We're taught that strength is, I got to stay strong and I don't talk about this. And, that's when we find it becomes difficult to bring up difficult conversations, right? In work or with our partner or whoever we might be dating or we're married to. Or when we bring it up, we're only coming from I'm angry. You made me mad because you did this. We can be proud of ourselves because we actually brought it up, right? If you're working on, most of us high achievers don't have a problem being direct, but it's our delivery that we can work on. And so I want to help you to connect more to hear, so that when you're sharing, it can be truly received, and so that you can create an environment. Last time I talked about, are you an environment that creates more play, where you can be in your softness, or are you bracing? And do you have to be the strong one? So we're going to get more into this, but so far, I would love for you to consider not only the environments that you're in right now, and if they are allowing you or supporting you in expressing vulnerability. Try to say that one 3 times. I'm struggling with once. Vulnerability. Being in your softness. Allowing yourself to play. Truly be yourself. Truly unmask. Just be you. And can we start communicating in a way that allows us to really connect with people in all areas of our life, because this is where we start to not feel alone. Because you can be in a relationship and feel totally by yourself, right? But if you want to feel more connected, and if you want to be more magnetizing, and you want to feel more fulfillment in your work, in your relationships, more passion, then we got to start with not coming from here, but coming from here, your corazón. All right, until next time.